Before we get going, for the new viewers, my name is Brando, founder of Brandlux Media. We are an e-commerce growth agency specialized in paid advertising, content creation, email marketing, and conversion rate optimization. If you're looking for a growth partner and you want a free audit, feel free to book a call down below. Now let's get going. Hey, how's it going? This is Brando from Brandlux Media, and in today's video, I'm going to speak about the exact framework that we used to get a client from $3,000 a day in sales all the way up to $20,000 a day in sales. And this exact process is the process that we use for all of our clients and the exact reason on why we're able to get consistent results in e-commerce. And as you might know, e-commerce can be very volatile. It can go up, it can go down. And this is the reason why we're able to get consistent results. I'm going to show you a case study in just a second. So make sure to stick until the end. And with no further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, let me just shrink my screen here and show you the proof before we do anything else. Okay, I know that there's a lot of a lot of going back and forth in regards to what people say is true, what people say is not true. So let me just show you the proof with your, so you can see the the proof with your own eyes. Now, what you're seeing over here, and let me just move myself a little bit over here, is a client. We started working with them. This is, I know this is last year, but I want to show you this case study in particular because this is the perfect example of how we went from, as you can see here, they were doing $2,000, $3,000, $1,000. Like they're kind of on this range, and they were actually getting in the right direction, but then they immediately went down. Okay, and this is, in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how we were able to go from here, this uncertain area, very inconsistent area, all the way up to scaling. As you can see it by yourself, all the way up to $20,000 in sales, almost $19,200. And we were able to keep it pretty consistent. The reason we started scaling down, unfortunately, is because the client was not expecting all of these orders, and we had to scale back because they just couldn't handle the fulfillment. Okay, now they are, let me just refresh before I talk about anything else. So you see, this is legit. Cool. Now that we got the proof out of the way, let's get going, and let me share my quick diagram. I'm going to bring you through a couple of concepts. As you can see here, I have a bunch of different things to show you. This, right? A bunch of different things. But before I show you these documents that we use internally at the team, and the reason why, these are all supporting documents that help us get these results. Let me just bring up the free form over here so we can analyze it together. Now, let's talk about the competitive advantage that got us from $3,000 a day to $20,000 a day in sales, basically overnight. I say overnight because it basically was overnight. It was like within 30 days, or not even, like a couple of weeks. Now, let me explain one very important thing before we move on and talk about other things, okay? Intensive market research is what will allow you to completely crush your competition, okay? If you don't spend time doing the research, right, which is what most people do out there, you will never get the results. And if you do, you're lucky. And if one day you open up a new business, new e-commerce store, and you do exactly what you did, it's probably not going to happen again. So every strategy that we talk about is a strategy for long-term success, sustainability, consistency, right? We don't want to build something that is very volatile, that you don't wake up in the morning tomorrow and you don't know exactly what's going to happen, right? So this is what most people do. They choose a product, right? They launch, limited testing, they maybe test 1, 2, or 3 concepts, and then they fail because they gave up. And many times, this is a scenario where the business or the business owner is maybe breaking even, right? Or maybe they're even profitable. But eventually, after 1, 2, or 3 months, heck, even 6 months, they start declining and they fail. This is considered failure for me, right? Even if you're making $100,000 a month, right? But then the next month it's 20K because of these reasons, limited testing, you're a failure in my opinion, right? So don't take it personally, I'm just saying it's a failure in general. Okay, so this is the process we take, how we do it. Okay, we choose a product, we do an intensive research, right? As I say here, I'm going to explain this in just a second. We do a product, market, and awareness research, right? We launch. Sometimes pretty much it fails, honestly, because we have to test a bunch of different things, but we don't stop testing. We do multi-approach testing that we take that we can only do in the first place because we do this intensive research. If we did not do this intensive research, we would be there kind of like, with our brains in our hand thinking, okay, like what are we going to do next? But because we did the intensive research, it's a lot easier for us to test multiple different approaches in the future. And this allows us to succeed in the long term, right? Not only the first month. So let's talk about step number 1, product market awareness research. Let's read this together. Most people actually don't spend the time studying the product, the features, and the benefits. It sounds, by the way, don't mind my spelling here, but whatever. They don't actually spend time understanding the features and the benefits of the product. I know that it sounds very cliche, but people just have a very, very vague understanding of what they're selling, and they don't fully understand it. So what happens when you don't understand your product, right, and the problems that it solves, you essentially are not able to market it, right? So next, let me read this again. Most people actually don't spend their time studying the product, the features and the benefits. The market, how to approach the market, how to sell to that market, and the awareness. What awareness does the market have of that product? How do we penetrate it? How do we penetrate the market? So most people don't do this. They don't study these 3 things. And because they don't study these 3 things, they don't have the foundations to even do good marketing. And so what I'm showing you here is the, Schwartz groundbreaking 5 levels of customer awareness. And so what this is, and this is foundational for how we do business and how we get results, is that we study the different levels of awareness. People that are most aware, product aware, solution aware, problem aware, and completely unaware. And what we do is that, the problem and why people are not able to get the results is because they start testing and they maybe only test to people that are problem aware, or they only test to people that are solution aware with a particular angle, and they just stop there. While there's a bunch of different angles that are like fundamental, right, to test in order to give yourself the best chance. And just so I show a quick thing over here, and let me switch over, just so I show you a quick document that we use to make all this happen. So what I'm showing you here, let me start with this one over here. So what I'm showing you here is a document that we use internally for all of our clients. So if we onboard a new client, like we onboard you today, I don't have my team do nothing. They do nothing, literally. I tell them to stop doing anything they're doing and just focus on this research, right? So product, market, and awareness research. And so what this document displays is the different levels of awareness and how we can approach, right, that type of persona. As you can notice here, this is avatar customer 1, most aware. Then we have avatar customer 2, product aware. So each individual stage is what we can consider an avatar customer, right? Because they're different types of persona. And what we do is that we understand who they are, most aware. This is avatar number 1. They're basically existing customers or people that already know who you are and what you do, and what you sell, most likely, right? And so what we want to do is we come up with headlines and angles that are examples. These are just examples, right, of how we can approach them, right? Okay, and by the way, these documents we share in our coaching program. If you want to get access to all these documents that I share, including other resources, access to my time, you can just join. It's like $49 a month, and you can join with the link down below if you're interested, right? Either way, getting back to this, we study exactly at what stages they are. Product aware, they're going to have different angles. For example, for product aware, we notice that having doing an us versus them approach is fundamental. And product aware, let me just explain who they are. This person knows we exist and our benefits, and they're ideal for some sort of retargeting approach. So testimonials, objection handling, authority building, discounts, offers. So it doesn't make sense to show these things, these types of ads, right? Testimonial ads, us versus them ads, to people that are maybe over here or in other stages. So this is what I'm talking about in this example. And then we have solution aware, right? What can they become with your product? Where can they belong? What's the pain? We have to make sure that they understand the problem. They are aware of the solution, but they maybe don't understand the problem. And then we have problem aware, people that are just aware of the problem, but they have no idea about the solution that you're offering. And that's where we have to fill in the gap. And so this is what you use internally to build this product, market, and awareness research. And also there's a bunch of there's this document. Let me just move myself over here. At the end of this document, we essentially have ads that link to the benefits or a direct pitch, right? Testimonial ads, scarcity ads. Essentially, this document is very simple. I had it created to my team so that whenever they go over here, they know exactly what type of ads to create, or at least get inspiration from. And this is just one of the documents that we use. These are just some copy of like how to write a good copy for the ads. Here's a direct pitch idea. Essentially, you have the product introduction, and then you just go directly to the pitch and the value proposition of the product, right? And then you have a curiosity trigger. Maybe you ask a question, right? Avatar call out. If you have XYZ experience, whatever, XYZ call out in pain. So it's like, once again, all of these ad copies only make sense once you understand who you are speaking to. Now, one other thing that we do internally, which is very helpful, is that we have a tracking system over here. And so we have most aware copies, product aware copies, solution aware copies, right? Essentially throughout all the stages, right? And what we do is that we keep track of the copies over here. We make sure that we list what angle it is, right? In this case, these are all most aware, right? So we're doing objection handlings, or maybe Black Friday offers, Cyber Monday offers. They are for warm audiences, right? And then for product aware, we have a different angle, like a direct pitch, right? A testimonial, a reaction, right? An emotional angle, right? And all these things, what we do for an organization is that we put all the ad copies over here, and then we have like 3 colors. This is for, if it's approved by the team, and then this is if it's being tested, and then this is if the actual ad copy is tested. And by the way, these principles are not only for ad copy, they are also fine for just testing on a creative level. Let me just go back to the form here, because I want to talk about a very important aspect, which is the reason why we also got the result in the first place. So over here, so this is the first reason. We study, we do the research, we understand the product, the market, and the awareness. The second example over here is where it gets really exciting for me as a marketer, because this is where what most people don't do in the first place. So they start testing a product, first of all, without even having too much context of how they want to sell it in the first place, because they didn't do the research. But they maybe test one different angle. And so as an example to showcase what I mean by this entire concept, and what we did for this client, is that let's just take an example that we're promoting a product that helps people quit smoking. Okay, so this is our product, so keep it in mind. Now, a lot of brand owners would take this approach and say, okay, let me just test the health angle, right? It's bad for your health, it's bad for the people around you, so get my product. They test it, they launch it, it doesn't succeed, right? They maybe even test something else, and they're like, okay, let me test the aging in appearance type of maybe aging angle. So it makes you look old, or you age faster, right? So these are different angles, and then they stop, right? What we do is that we test basically infinite angles. We come up with a document that has 50 different angle propositions, 50 different angles and approaches that we can approach the market with. And then maybe 5 out of those 50 are winners. And then people ask us how we're able to get the results. Because we tested 50 different marketing angles. That's how we were able to get the results. It's not that we're way better than you, or we do things. Of course, we have the experience and the track record, and that helps. But it's because we actually take our time to do 2 things. Do the research and test marketing angles. And so this is another example of an angle that we would test, right? A relationship. Help your loved one quit. Not many people, think about this type of angle. Let's promote to partners and boyfriends to help their girlfriend smoke, or vice versa, or just keep it general. A lot of people don't even think about these things. And guess what? If this angle makes me $20,000 a month and it's not scalable, just because the market is maybe smaller for that angle, at least we got an extra $20,000 a month in cash flow, right? So guess what? If you test 50 of these, and just do the crazy thing here, we test a bunch of these angles, and even if this one works and it brings me 10K, this one maybe brings me another 10K. This one is a pure winner and it brings me $100,000. It's the most scalable one. This one maybe is a small one, brings me 5K. It's all about this. And so at the end of the day, our ad account is structured by marketing angles, right? Angle 1, where the proven one that brings me $100,000 a month. Then another angle, another campaign that brings me an extra $10,000 a month. So this is, I'm not sure if you understand what I mean by this, but this is how we scale, guys. This is why what we do eventually works, right? We can't guarantee that it's going to work in the first place, and we're very transparent with our clients about it. right? Because we have to be reasonable. But eventually, if we keep on going, assuming you're working with the right people, of course, that have experience, eventually crack the code, because there's really no excuse. The only other reasons why this wouldn't work in the first place is if the product is just like not the right product. There's no demand, people don't care about it, it's not a winner, people just don't want to buy, and there's no demand for it. Okay, so I know that I was a little rocky in explaining this in the first part of the video. At least that's how it felt. If you need any clarification on the first part, just maybe because I missed a couple of things, let me know in the comments. I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions. But foundation of everything, do your research. Don't give up in the first place. Do your research first, test your product, and split test marketing angles. I can assure you that eventually, if it's not today, if it's not in a month, eventually it's going to happen that you're going to find something that works, assuming you're promoting the right product that has some sort of validation. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let me know if you have any questions down below. Give me suggestions on new videos that you'd want to come out, and don't forget to subscribe and like and ring the bell. All right, see you in the next video. Bye. On a further note, feel free to book your strategy session with our team by clicking the button down below. In this session, we will audit your brand, come up with a custom plan of action, and then we'll explore the opportunity of potentially working together, assuming it's a perfect fit. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It means a lot, and hopefully see you on the other side.